Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Factor here on Factor of Games. I'm your host, Greg, and we are about to get into 5 more games. Actually, 7 more games that run on the Steam Deck. Well, 6 games that run on the Steam Deck, 7 games that run on the Legion Go. How's that sound? Not to spoil anything, but Ubisoft does what Ubisoft does. And Avatar just doesn't run on the Steam Deck. I couldn't get it to run. I tried everything. I thought I had it figured out, but unfortunately nothing worked. So we're gonna have to go without Avatar on the Steam Deck, but we will look at it briefly on the Legion Go just to kind of cover the commitment of the poll. But hopefully I've got a replacement, and that replacement is going to be Still Wakes the Deep. Is that it? I think it is. Still Wakes the Deep, which is actually a very interesting game. Kind of like Amnesia, kind of more like you're running away. There's no way to fight. You're trying to figure out like the next area to get into, maybe some puzzles in there. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. I played around with it a little bit. But let's jump in, since we do have a lot to cover. We got plenty of games. We're not going to waste time today. We've got a couple games to look at beyond those two. Everybody voted for Back to Blood. Yo, what's up, Clay? Hey, Joe, how are you, man? Welcome. Everybody voted for Back for Blood, and that was one because it's on sale right now. It's like $5.99 on Steam, and you can get this one pretty cheap, and it's a pretty good game. If you like Left 4 Dead, I think you'll like this one. I'm doing well, Joe. How are you, man? How's things over in Cleveland? You guys are beating the heat? I heard it's like super hot on the East Coast. It's about 70 degrees here in Seattle area, so it's not too bad. We're not getting the brunt of all that of everybody else in the Midwest and the East Coast. The next game that was voted on was one that I was kind of curious about, but I was like, we'll see. It might win. And it did. It was actually Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, which is a really cool kind of tower defense, reverse tower defense. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of an interesting one, but I think everybody will like that one. Hey, how are you, Silkair? Good seeing you. Thanks for stopping in. Another one of the Twitch folks over there. You thought it might as well tune in for 15 minutes since you have some free time. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. And we're going to get right into the game. So you're kind of tuning right in because we've got plenty to cover this week. Lots of stuff. Got a busy night. Well, good to hear. Anything specific? I don't even know where you're based at. Are you on the East Coast, West Coast, in the U.S., out of the U.S.? Need some direction. Let's see. Yeah, we can do Back for Blood. Since you're here for like 15 minutes, we can do that one first. Let's take a look at that one. We'll jump right into it. West Coast. Oh, you're on my time zone. Okay, good. Oregon. Oh, very nice. I love Oregon. Oregon's amazing down that way too, just like Washington. We're also going to take a look at Resident Evil 2, which I kind of tried to pick some games that I know are coming on sale next week. So I was a little bit behind, but just so everybody's aware, the Steam sale kicks off the 27th, I think it is. Is that the right date? Hey, Dakota, how are you? Welcome. I saw Joe was in here as well, so I figured you're hanging out at the house with them. Just guys hanging out for the weekend, keeping I guess you're in the basement to kind of get out of the heat. Thursday, the 27th, is when the Steam sale kicks off. That'll be around 10 a.m. as long as nothing fails. They've had that before. When I was selling games on there, I actually had it to where like one summer sale, they went live and the whole thing crashed and it didn't go on until 11 a.m. But yeah, they're pretty good about it. It wasn't too bad. But so I tried to pick some games also that would be going on sale and people would want to know if they run or not. So we have air, but it's freezing down there. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, I'm glad you guys are keeping cool. I heard it was brutal. It's like 100 and some. I know in like where I'm from, it was like 98, 99. They were showing me today. Let's see. So Resident Evil 2 and then Returnal as well. Because again, probably a game people are going to be looking at if there's games on sale. And then we've got Avatar. We're going to take a look at Avatar. And we are going to take a look at Still Wakes the Deep. Avatar, like I said at the beginning of the show, does not run on the Steam Deck, unfortunately. Nothing we can do about it. But it does run on the, well, kind of runs on the Legion Go. But since Silk Air is here waiting, oh, it's 86 by the lake, and it's 10 in the evening. Jesus, it's crazy. Since Silk Air is here for a little bit, let's just jump into Back 4 Blood. Like I said, this one's on sale right now. I don't know if they'll carry the sale all the way through to the 27th, you know, through the summer sale, which goes for 2 weeks. It'll go to July something. I would probably buy it now. If you're interested in the game, I'd get in it now. I don't think it's gotten any cheaper than this before. I think this is the lowest I've seen. And it's like, I think you can get the Ultimate Edition for 90% off for $10 if you really want all the DLC, all the special upgrades and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and jump in there. We're going to do this on the Steam Deck itself. There we go. And there's nothing special you need to do. I mean, the game runs. They've optimized the game. Since I originally tried it on the LCD version of the Steam Deck, which would have been one of the first ones, just runs silky, smooth, no problem. But an interesting thing, and I've got a video coming out tomorrow on this as well. It's not really going to impact anybody from buying Back 4 Blood. If you really want Back 4 Blood, like I said, go for it. It'll run just fine. But there is a little bit of a interesting thing that happens with the OLED when you're running the game versus the LCD. The LCD can run certain areas a little bit more efficiently. I don't know if it's because of the chipset. I don't know if it's something on the bottom. I'm not 100% sure. Did you get the OLED? Yes, I did, Joe. Yep, I got that one. And I run, like, if you ever check out the channel beyond like the live streams, you'll find like there's videos that do comparisons between the OLED and the LCD version. So you can kind of see, you know, the original LCD versus kind of the newer OLED and if there's any differences. So the OLED does run a little bit weird in here, but it doesn't really hurt it. I mean, what you're ultimately looking to get is roughly 60 frames per second. And this game does 60 frames per second, no problem. Now, I am going to play it offline. It plays online, but I'm going to play it offline again because of the issues that we run into here. And let me make sure. There we go. I want to turn off that other music. Sorry. There we go. And if it's too loud or if it's not loud enough, just yell. You've got an LCD where you're going to be happy. LCD was very stable. I don't know what's the difference with the OLED in this case. Yeah, I love the Steam Deck as well. I know you guys got, which one did you get? You and Dakota got the, did you guys get the OLED or did you get the LCD one? So this is the OLED running here. Now it's going to be locked to 60 because we're streaming and the capture card only does 60 frames per second streaming. Just so you know, the LCD, yeah, that's, I've got both of them. Steady 60 frames per second. Yeah. Now we are in this area. So, okay, remember, let's jump into the campaign really fast. This area, well, funny enough, you could actually bump the quality up in this area, in the hub world, or in the hub of the world. But let's jump into the campaign really fast. And let's just kind of show what it looks like in there. It's fine. Again, it's going to be 60, but you want to have it set to FSR 1.0 performance and put it on low settings. That's what it's on right now. So you can kind of see the, you know, what that looks like, but it will hold 60 or roughly thereabouts on those settings. And we'll take a look really fast at the settings. Again, LCD is the same regardless. So what you want to do is drop this to FSR 1. I have it on balance because this is the OLED, but for the LCD, you'd want to put on performance. And then you want to have your quality settings to low. At that point, you're going to be locked at 60 frames per second. So let's, oh, they didn't open the door. I thought they did. I wasn't sure if the AI does that on their own or not.
Move out.
But yeah, you can see, I mean, it's holding 60 strong here. And again, it will do the same thing on the LCD. Now, playing on battery, it will take a hell of a lot of battery. It's going to run at like 24 watts, 25 watts on battery. So, to hold that 60 frames per second. But again, you know, if you're playing online, you're going to be connected probably to the internet, which will probably be in your house somewhere or pretty much near a power outlet. So you could have your, you know, charger on there like I do here, and you wouldn't really even care, but we'll see the big troll come out here real fast. There it comes. Yeah, I don't know if we can really compete with this guy. Oh, jeez. I'll start moving, dodging things. I'm just going to unload on this guy. I don't think we have to beat him. Probably just playing locally with friends. Yeah, you'll be fine. 60 frames per second. It runs really nice. Like I said, when I originally tried the game on the LCD, I think I was getting around 40 frames per second. But they did some optimization like they do, and, you know, they got everything running just fine. Man, he is really coming in here. Oh, I'm not dead yet, but we're gonna die. I don't know if I can help anybody or not. Yeah, definitely. Valve stepped up the game as well as the developers. You know, I give the developers a lot of credit. Once they get a chance to... Oh, I was trying to go over there and help bot Holly out. Is it... Are we all dead?
Only a moment.
Ah, we failed.
We'll get 'em next.
But you can see, I mean, that's pretty intense. Lots of enemies on the screen. And you're still looking at 60 frames per second. So yeah, the game runs just fine. Oh, no continues either. So that one, they obviously got help from both, you know, the Valve efforts and getting the firmwares and everything up and running. And then also the developers coming in and, you know, really optimizing in for the game itself. So no issues on Back 4 Blood. I would tell anybody, you know, if you're interested in the game, go buy it now. On Steam, it's $5.99. So it's going to run just fine. But let's take a look at it on the OLED, or sorry, the Legion Go. Sorry, I had to think of which one we're using here. So let me get out of this. And we will jump over to the Legion Go and give a little test on there. I didn't have as much time to look at this one. So I'm not 100% sure how well this runs. And I do actually, you know what? I want to put this on. I want to put this back on 1080p. What's going on here? Oh, it is on 1080p. It's just all over the place. Let me fix my screen. Looks about right. Maybe? No. That is not right. That's about right. Somewhere in there. So it defaults to 2560 if you've ever watched me run this before, but we're going to play it at 1920 by 1080, but it doesn't recognize that. Or sorry, yeah, 1920 by 1080. So let's just jump in on the Legion Go here and see how the game runs. It's obviously going to run just fine, but we're going to try it at 1080p and we're going to try to run it, you know, very similar settings so we can kind of get, you know, pretty close to the same quality. But Back 4 Blood, like I said, is, I don't know why it didn't get like more people playing it. It's, I mean, to me, it's Left 4 Dead. It's just the extension of Left 4 Dead franchise that Valve doesn't build games that much anymore. They're not too worried about it. But I do like Left 4 Dead series. I think that both of those, we played tons of them, tons of matches on those games. So on my Twitch channel and, with Klee Gamer and Dakota Shea in here, and, we never had a problem at all with them. So they ran great. They're great games. But it was nice to see that, I don't know, what I thought was that Back 4 Blood kind of, what would you say, brought some quality of life improvements, I guess. A new game called Deadlock. I've heard that as well. Yeah. I don't know if that's, I mean, obviously they didn't get what they needed out of this one. That's probably why it's on sale. And quite honestly, if they're going to, almost canceled out. If they're going to put effort into this game in any meaningful way, they probably want to get as many copies of Back 4 Blood out, because then that gives them more people to market to. There we go. Now let's check our settings on the Legion Go. I think we have it set to performance. Let me just verify that before we start. Performance, yep. And actually, you know what? Since we can't go above 144 anyhow, I'm just going to put it at 60. Not that that makes too much of a difference here, but we'll just go ahead and do that. Now, I do want to try running it at balanced. And we'll put everything at, let's try medium. There is a little bit more power in the Legion Go, so let's give it a shot. See if we can get anything extra out of it. But everything else is set up identical. So let me apply that. Oh, what was our resolution? Did we see that? I might have just stepped right over it. 1920 by 1080. So yeah, we're at 1080. And what we need to do, we do have our FPS counter in the lower left-hand corner, but I will put on the frame monitor, although it never works. If you want to see, those are temps and CPU usage. If you want to see the FPS, it's in the lower left-hand corner. Your grammar doesn't sound, what was that? The new Evolve could breathe life back into their... Oh, you mean Evolve, like that, what was it, the 1v4 or 1v5, or 1v4, wasn't it? I liked Evolve. I thought that was an interesting game. So we're just going to take a look at the exact same area. Now we are a little bit below, so we may have to adjust things down a bit. Yeah, I like that. I have Evolve in my catalog. I haven't, oh, we'll skip this. I guess we're a little bit further back maybe than the, I don't know. Why didn't it sync that? It should have. I don't know. It didn't pull in the sync, or the sync save. Let's go with Jim. Yeah, I think I have Evolve in my library, but I haven't played it in years. I don't even know if they support it anymore. So I'd imagine the servers, if they're still up, are very, very sparse in terms of people. So let's see, 59 frames per second, somewhere in there. I mean, we're right. It's holding pretty steady. So for whatever reason, I think we're locked kind of at that 60. But we are inside as well, so a little bit less to, with the hallways and the corridors. Oh, jeez. There we go. Just to play. Oh, you bought a physical copy. So the servers are still running then. Well, that's good to know. No. We'll keep the shotgun for now. Again, we're not going to play too much of this because we've got to jump into our other 6 games. We've got plenty to look at tonight. Grab some money. I was gonna say, can we get out of here and see some horde action maybe? Or a little bit more than just a few? Oh, there's some leaning up against the wall. These bots are pretty accurate. Oh, unlike me. So you played bots. Gotcha. Okay. So it depends. Maybe there's players, maybe there's not, huh? I mean, it wasn't really full of players when I played it, so I don't know what to expect. Let's try switching. Oh, I don't have a secondary weapon. I thought I did. So we're out in the courtyard now, 58, 59. Yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty much holding steady about what we were on the other settings. You ended up dying fast. Yeah, it was kind of one of those games where it was like you really needed to work together. And if you couldn't find 4 people that really wanted to work together, it was going to make it difficult. Okay, that's out that way. Oh, we gotta open this up. We'll just go through the next couple rooms and then call it good. Do I not have another weapon? I got a grenade. What is this? Oh, you can. Oh, that's right. You can lay down barbed wire. Okay. I got nailed against the wall or something. Where am I at? There we go. Yeah. I mean, overall, performance is solid, though. I think, I mean, for me, this game definitely... Oh, I thought those were the bots. This game is definitely better for me than Evolved was. Because, you know, you could sit there and play pretty much just to kind of get practice, and it wasn't so intense as to like, it plays better when it's real people. Like, this plays pretty well. Actually, the bots in this game are really, I don't know, to me, they're super accurate. Like, a little bit too accurate. Funko, or whatever that was, Memento. Looked like a Funko. And it still plays really fast, so... I don't know. I always enjoyed this game. I played this a lot on PS4, I think. Oh, man, I need to adjust my controller, though. Like within Steam, kind of find the dead zone on it, because it's not super good on this control pad, but it was fine on the Steam Deck controller built into it. So, I don't know. Oh, whatever that was, that kind of threw a little surprise at the Legion Go. Okay, I mean, it still hasn't dropped out of 58, 59 frames per second, so I think we're fine on this one. It's definitely using some power, though. I would imagine on the Legion Go, you might get about an hour and 5 minutes on the battery, something like that. Going to be pretty bad on the Legion Go, because it's just using all the, it's like 35 watts is what it's running right now. If you were to drop the frame rate down, or like put it down to like the bare minimum settings and FPS or FSR, you'd probably be able to get a little bit, maybe squeeze an hour and a half out of it. Hey, Wreak Havoc, how are you? Okay, let's jump out of here. Again, if you're looking at Back for Blood, $4.90 or $5.99 right now on Steam, just go buy it, because it's going to run just fine. Let's jump over to, oops, sorry. Let's jump over to the, I gotta get rid of that sound effect. I don't know if I like that. Let's jump over to Avatar. Now, Avatar will not run on the Steam Deck. I could not get it to run at all. So, whatever that is, I thought it was the Ubisoft launcher. Ubisoft does something with this game that they don't do with many of their other ones, where it activates, and I had to like restart the game like 3 times on a Windows device to be able to get it to activate the code. It wouldn't activate the code on the Steam Deck. So then I figured, okay, well, I'll activate it on a Windows device through their Ubisoft Connect, and then I'll turn around and try to run it on the Legion or on the Steam Deck, and it'll bypass that. But it didn't. It didn't bypass it at all. It just gets stuck, and it can't get through the launcher experience. It just, I'll show you here. Let's jump in and we'll just take a look at it. So even if you throw Proton Experimental on it, which actually we'll throw Proton Hotfix, which normally will work with anything as long as the developer's trying to help. We'll try and see if it'll run it, but again, it's getting stuck at the Ubisoft Connect launcher when it tries to go through. You'd have been surprised. You know, it should work on it. I think it's just their launcher this time doesn't allow it to kind of go past where it should. Like, it looks like it's going to launch right now, but then right here is where it'll fail out. And my expectation is it's trying to engage that Ubisoft Connect launcher to approve, because they're trying to check and see if you can play it, if you're eligible to play it. But it's not doing what it's supposed to. So we can't run it on the Steam Deck, but let's take a look at it over on the Legion Go. It's not really good at all in the sense on either one. With the Legion Go, it does run because it's a Windows machine, but it does not run anywhere near. What happened to my Legion Go? It's either asleep or it's stuck on the... I might have to restart Steam on here. Let me try doing that. It's stuck right now for some reason. Let's restart Steam. Close that out. And just go back in. Your Steam picture's on the wish list spot. Oh, that's funny. It popped up because you were running something. Yeah, I don't turn those off, and it just constantly like throws up everybody's stuff. Let's see. There we go. We'll just go ahead and actually, if you're on a Windows machine, you will get the best performance from what I've found if you run the desktop client, not the actual big picture mode. Big picture mode takes a little bit too much for some reason, like just slightly a little bit of resources, but enough to like cause some problems. All right. So it takes forever to get this game running though. And it's not anything you can do about it. It's like, there's a lot of shader, compiling, preloading of shaders, things like that happening in the background on the first launch until you get to a certain spot. And then it starts to open up and can run better. But the game, it's really tough. You have to like put everything down to bare minimum. Let's see if I can't skip through some of this. Check that out later. There we go. So settings wise, you can see we're at about 35 frames per second in the menu or the start screen. So we can take a look. I'm going to drop this down. Actually, no, I'm not going to drop this down to 1280 by 720. I could, but we're not going to screw up the stream just for this. Gotta go. All right, Silkar, have a good night. Thanks for swinging by. We will run FSR3. We will run frame generation. We'll try to get it at 60 or 59. Let's see. Scaling mode. We've got everything on ultra performance. Well, actually, let's see. Fixed. Let's do fixed. And then, actually, let's turn that off. Well, let's leave it fixed. And then frame rate limit, custom frame rate. We'll try to go again up to 60. We'll just go ahead and turn off frame rate limiter. And then let's go over to graphics. Now, everything else should be set to low, like extremely low. Low, very low, 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 low. Yep. So well, do we want to run the benchmark? We might as well. Let's do that. Let's just see what it gives us. And then we'll jump into a little bit of gameplay. And then we'll go from that point. We're not gonna spend a lot of time on it. Because again, can't get it running on the Steam Deck. So that's, a little disappointing. I wonder what this would run like on that new ROG Ally X. Not that device is actually any different. It's some differences, but it's not a whole new refresh of the device. It's just like a mid what would you call that? Midlife upgrade, I guess. So I don't think it's going to run all that well. Yeah, 6 frames per second. 28 frames per second. This is kind of what you're looking at right here. 28's not too bad. I mean, if you can keep 30, it's not horrible. You could play it, but anything below that, like at some points, when I was playing it, it was dropping well into the 20s, like low 20s, like teen 20s. And it really felt unplayable at that point. It was choppy and just not a good experience. I mean, playing on a major like gaming rig, 4090, 60 frames per second, I'm sure it could do, but I think their minimum requirement is 30, is actually a 2080 and the recommended is 3060. So that's well above the, above the specs of an AMD integrated chipset. We're going to end up with probably 25 frames per second, something like that, off of this benchmark. Maybe even less than that. And it really isn't all that impressive without the, full on settings, highest quality, all of that stuff. The game doesn't look that great to me. It looks like any of the Horizon games in a way. What did we end up with? Score of 382. Average 27 FPS. Okay, that beat what I thought. Just by a little bit. I don't think there's any more optimization we can do, though. And I'm not sure Ubisoft would be doing any more optimization for the game. They might. It's only been out a week. Usually it takes a week or two of data coming back from Steam to say like, hey, here's how, the device performance is, and here's how many returns you've had and stuff like that. And then they kind of like go, oh, well, we should probably do something. I would have to imagine this has got a high return rate. Just kind of knowing the back end of it anyhow, how many games get returned. All right, we'll just jump in and we'll continue from where I'm at, which is still in the base, but that'll kind of give you an idea. We'll be in like a very enclosed area, And that'll be like the best probable FPS you're going to get versus being out in the open world kind of thing. And you can see the loading times are quite extensive. They burn at 2 hours. You have to return it. That's what it seems like. Now, this game was exclusive to, well, on PC, it was exclusive to the Epic Game Store for, I guess, what, about a year? Maybe 6 months? Something like that. So, yeah, we're getting like, ooh, a lot of jumping around. 20, 25 frames per second. I might have even walked the completely wrong direction. Oh, this is, God, see how it's skipping around? This is the way we were supposed to go. Can I run? Yep. Can I slide? Yeah. It doesn't look great, but we can do it. Let's see if we can duck under here. We got to do some climbing to get outside. I don't know how far outside is, though. It'd be great if we could get, like, out to see what the open world looks like. Did I get through that? I guess I did. Or is this the way I just came? Oh my God. I'm afraid I'm getting turned around because it keeps throwing me in like different directions because of the, here we go. The choppiness of it. Now, as far as I know, we're trying to escape. We grew up in there. I forget what they called it, tap or some kind of like area. Uh-oh. It's not doing well. There we go. Maybe. This run's really poor on here, though. And again, there's nothing more you can do about it. You could drop it down to 1280 by 720, but given that you're getting like 25 frames, 20 frames here and there, the best you're probably going to see if you went down to 1280 by 720 is maybe 30s. But again, for our stream, or for the stream here, really can't. Do I have to kick this out, or maybe not? Or do I have to run towards it or something? Well, I can't run. I'm kind of stuck. It's super dark in this area. Oh, look, the frame rate counter actually started working for a second. I might have went down the wrong area. I don't know if we can go through there or not. It looks like we could, but I don't have any weapons. I can't swing at anything. I've got some food. I can jump. And there's no tools. I think this is the way we're supposed to go. Oh, God. I don't know why. The Legion Go does this sometimes when it's really under stress. Like, it stutters. And it doesn't have to be just like this game. It could be like other games, right? Is there some way I can turn here? No. Yeah, I can only look down. I can't, like, jump. food. Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm in an area where I'm not 100% which direction we should go, but given the performance here, we're not even close to like solid performance. Like, this is one that I probably wouldn't play on the device. Oh, maybe. Nope, that's a fan. I wonder if I'm just stuck in the area. Like, there's nothing to grab. It should be like, oh, you just push something out, but there's no weapons. I don't think. Nope. And there's no HDR on because we can't do that on this device. Yeah. It's not giving me any cues either. I got stuck. It's funny. Like, I was stuck in the room before this when I was testing it, and I couldn't get it to move forward. Like, the door wouldn't open. And then I went back and we restarted, and we're on the other side of the door when I left off. So I'm kind of wondering if that's the same case here. Like, it's supposed to give me something, but it's not. Like, I can't. And I don't think I have any other options on the device itself. Nothing I can see. Oh, there it was. Okay, there it was. For some reason, it's not, the control isn't on the actual controller I'm using right here, right now. I'll have to fix that. I don't know what that is. That was just like, it's not, the functionality is not there. Yeah, you were right. Definitely press start once. You punched it. I just couldn't punch it. Like, I was trying to do it on the Xbox controller, but it wasn't recognizing it. I had to actually hit the right button, like the right stick down, to punch on the actual Legion device. So I don't know what that is.
One more made it.
That one's weird.
Are you all right?
All right, let's see.
Here, take this. Put it in your ear.
I wonder if it's
You've been busy.
a controller mapping
For you. They found
problem. I didn't look at the control. I knew it had like a auto controller
Salt Lake. One of the last
profile,
of my class.
so I figured, well, it should be working, but
Not be the last of yours. Keep moving. Fast and quiet. Go.
maybe there's something wrong with the Xbox 3 or Xbox One controller profile. Everything else seems to work though.
I hear you. The soldiers are everywhere.
All right, we're getting, I think this is where we can get out from the building, if I'm not mistaken. And welcome, Press Start Once. Good to see you again. Oh, I can't run. I think the dude we were just talking to, like, sacrifices himself, if I remember correctly. Do we have to do this same thing here? No. Maybe I didn't have to come this way. Let me try. Nope. Oh, wow. It's chugging at like 3 frames per second right there. Ooh. A little rough. Okay, it looks like staircase like right above me. I can't even tell where I'm at. Where is the floor? There's a light. This is the way I came in, right? Look at that. Wait, I'm confused now. I came through this way. That's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, press start once. Oh my god, is this rough? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now I figured it out.
So, like, can you hear me? Where
It's
is
super
everyone?
dark in
Did
this
they get
area.
out?
I'm making sure they do. Are you safe?
For now, I think.
Okay. Let's see.
Just keep moving.
It's really rough to play on this. Okay, go around this way. I'm going to use the controller on there. There we go. Yeah. It's weird. It's even delayed when you punch on the thing. Like when I have to use on the Legion Go controller. Am I supposed to try to kill them? Oh, I guess we're just hiding. It's like a stealth part. Well, we made it through that.
That was close.
Okay. I think we're pretty close to getting out of here. It's amazing how tall they are, like how they make it like the game or like the movie where like the blue characters are like, or the avatars are like really tall.
I'll try to find a way through.
Oh, can we get out of here? There we go, repair. Oh. I'm just running for it, I guess. Kind of like lost. Okay, run this way.
Okay, I'm out of the gym. Solve it!
Okay. Ooh. Let's see. What if we go this way? It's unfortunate it didn't run on the Steam Deck. I would love to have seen them support it because I don't mind the franchise or the game. Just playing it this way would not be possible. Okay, which way now? This way? It's just like a maze.
How long were we asleep?
Are we back in the area that we started?
Can you hear me?
I don't think so. Okay, now I'm stuck. Okay, there we go. I was worried that that was the game freezing. Is this that commander?
Gotcha. What'd you catch, Harding?
Oh, there's the guy. The doctor or
You
whatever.
don't gotta worry about this one. It hasn't got anywhere near the fight its sister did.
Murder.
Well, look where it got her. It's a shame. They could have been of use once. But now there are no Navi ambassadors. Only Navi obstacles.
I love how the frame rate is jumping up to like 1800. Okay, now we gotta go. Oh, I gotta hit it with this thing again. Such a delay in that.
Are you okay? That was
Oh.
way too close. Solve it!
I might have to go up this way. We gotta do the charge jump. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw this on my gaming PC just to see what it looks like. Now where are we going? Oh my God, this is so confusing. Okay, now we're starting to see something different. Or DNA. That fan is like gonna blow off of this Legion Go. Oh, did we get outside? Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay, let's let it settle in. 28, 32. Still, look how much it's stuttering though. One frame. $25, $22. Yeah, the Legion Go just stutters a lot on this game. Like even with the low frame rate, it's just like you can see where it's jerking. I don't know what that is. It's just a little too much for this little guy to handle. Let's do one thing. Since we're almost done with it, we're pretty much done. But let's just try out of curiosity. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of here. There we go. I wanted to see if I could change it to system. There we go. I wanted to see if we could change it to 720p. Out of curiosity. I don't think it's going to do much because of that jerkiness that it's having. Okay, let's see. Borderless. Let's just do this. I'm not even going to change it to like a windowed thing. I just wanted to see. We'll just have it at 1280 by 800. There we go. We'll just keep it in a windowed environment. That way it won't mess with the screen. Can we see? Okay, it got to 50s. And it looks better. It's still got something that's like jerky in the on the device. Like it just slows and it goes and stops, goes and stops. I wonder if we get rid of that if we let's just limit it to 30 frames per second. Leave the refresh rate where it's at, but we'll limit it down to 30 FPS. Oh, not 20 FPS. You can limit it to 20? Oh my God. They knew what they were doing. Okay. Let's see if that helps with that. Like kind of controls it. No.
More RDA. What happened?
Maybe. I don't know why it's not like limiting it down though. Let's force it down with the actual device itself. Let's see, frame rate. Oh, it's outside of like the view of what I can see here. FPS. Okay. That should, yeah, now the device is limiting it to 30. I mean, it's a pretty game. It's just, I don't think it's going to run on these portable devices unless they do some additional effort. Look at those clouds. That's the FSR right there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's definitely a pass in terms of like playing it on these devices. Could you? Yes. I just don't see like it running very well. Like even trying to quit out of the game, it's not like able to do it on this device. But so we've taken a look at Avatar. Let's take a look at Still Wakes the Deep, which is the other game that came out this week. Now that does run on the Steam Deck, and it runs fairly well. We'll try and run it on both devices, which I expected it'll run just fine on here. This thing won't even let me exit out. Ubisoft's like, we're making sure you can't refund at 2 hours. We got you now. Let's see if we can kill it on here. And I might have to use the mouse. Yeah, this thing is definitely locked up the device in a way that it's not letting go. Okay, well, we'll deal with this. I know how to deal with that. Let's switch over to the Steam Deck and we'll run Still Wakes the Deep. We just got to power this thing down because it's froze right now. I don't know if it's too warm. I mean, it's very hot. Like the device is super hot. I've never felt like the Legion Go get that hot before. All right. Let's see. So let's hopefully get something else running. Still Wakes the Deep. So this game came from the Chinese Room. I couldn't think of them. And they've done some interesting games in the past, but this one I think is not necessarily a super long game. Like some of their other games have been a little bit longer. This one is about 5 to 6 hours from what I understand. That's it. It's kind of like a walking, I hate to use the term walking simulator, but in a way that's kind of what it is. I'm going to try to get this Legion Go back to life while we wait for this thing to fire up. There we go. So you're basically on an oil rig. You've committed some crime and you skedaddled to the oil rig and they found out. So they fired you and then all hell breaks loose. So I think we're going to be kind of in a little bit in the second area. I think it is when they called it the under rig, maybe something like that. And then I got inside of the rig. So we're going to take a look at that point. But in terms of settings, we've got everything set 720p. HDR's off. I don't really use HDR unless I'm playing the game for myself anymore because I can't really film it all that well, and we can't use it on the stream. FSR3 is on. It's on ultra performance. It is doing frame generation, and everything else is set to like, pretty much high epic settings. And let's just resume the game from where we were. Now I'm showing this game because this was up against Avatar, and since Avatar can't run, I wanted to at least show what it looked like. Oh, okay, so this is actually a little bit further in. You can see that FSR though. See how it's making the artifacts? That's definitely that component at work. So if we turn that off, or if we you know, move it up, let's do that. Let's move that up. Let's do some adjustments here. Let's make FSR go up to balanced, and let's move all of our other settings to like medium. Can we even do that? No, we get higher epic. There we go. Medium. 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 I was playing it on the 4090, so that's why it's kind of a little bit more than what the Steam Deck can handle. So we should be able to get rid of some of that shimmering stuff, artifacts. Come on. I can't get out of the menu. What's it doing? I think it's skipping inputs or something. That's weird. I can't get out of here. Okay. Oh, no, 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 cancel. I think I got the Legion Go back to life. Yeah, what is this thing doing? It's got me stuck. I don't think I have to reset when I change it. Maybe it has a problem with it. Let's just reset. Maybe changing it. Some games are like that. They like if you change the FSR or the upscaler, that it just demands you reset or it gives you a problem. But we should be good now. We should be kind of at the lower settings with a little bit more balanced FSR upscaler. All right, can we zip through this? Probably corrupted the data based upon what they're telling me. Is my mouse even work? Oh no, it's not working because it's not hooked up. There we go. Okay, so now we should have the right settings. Let's just take a look. FSR balanced, everything kind of set to medium. That's what we want. So let's see what it looks like now. This should help. I think it's the artifacts were being caused by maybe the film grain or the fog they're using, one of the two. We still see, oh, it was the raindrops. We still see kind of some of it, but it's not as bad. And we're still close to 55, 60.
Jesus, Scooby. Give me a heart attack.
Oh, sorry, mate. Can I ask a wee favour?
What do you need, Scoob?
Oh, could you do me a quick fix on the crew lift fuse box?
There are people named Scoob.
I need bother.
Oh, you're a lifesaver, mate.
I always thought of it was the dog.
Thanks, pal.
All right, let's see. I think we can fix this really fast. I've done all this before. For some reason, the save is way back further than where I was because we're not even in the point where we get fired. We're coming up on it. And then we'll go into the under, whatever they call it, the under rig. There we go. Yeah, we got to meet Rennick. I guess is the guy's name. He's the chief of the rig. But yeah, you could probably toy around a little bit more. Maybe move everything down to low and get it to kind of hang in that like lock 60 area. But where we're at right now, I think it looks the best that it can, given that the rain looks somewhat weird, but not much. Yeah, that's kind of the whole rig over that way. You came from that way. And we're, I think, on the opposite side, but then there's an underneath. It's very vertical, right, in the way they do it.
Well, here we fucking go.
I don't know if we can skip past this. It's really just more story stuff. Oh yeah, we can skip it. He's just getting fired. That's all. Yep, the guy threw the door in his face. Now he's got to take the helicopter back to the mainland. But yeah, this is kind of like the whole area. But let's head over this way. We'll jump on the helicopter. Oh, can't get up that way. You just kind of follow these green paths, from what I understand. That's what I've seen.
Running for you guys.
Let's get up here. Must be burning off gas or something. Here we go. So you don't know what's happening. You don't know what's attacking kind of the rig.
Guys, help me! Guys, don't let me die, please! I don't want to die! I don't want to die! Jesus, just hang on! Fuck!
A little bit of a drop. Now again, we'll see if we can't skip this. This is just a memory. He was talking to his wife. His friend is the guy, he's like the chef on the rig who got him the job. So it's just like a memory of them going back and talking about when he knew he was in trouble. And they're like, well, we'll just get him on the rig and we'll let kind of the police and all that blow over. They won't be able to find him.
We've got you, man, all right? We've got you!
All right.
He's breathing, thank Christ.
Let's get to a point where we can move. There we go. We'll work our way out of here. Now, we're kind of in the game itself right now. Finally gotten through a lot of the cutscenes. Get a chance to see. Again, it's more of like a walking sim than it is anything. You're just basically on a path. You do have to hide. There's stuff like that. So that's why it's not like a walking simulator to me. It's a little bit more like a horror game, but
Up on your feet. My heat's killing me, but
okay, we can have conversations in a bit. We're seeing about 40s, 50s. Once we do this, that arm was nowhere near that
and winch up the bell.
brake. Before we go to the under rig, which is the area right after this, we will adjust some of the settings down even further if we can.
Don't know. The drill hit something. An air pocket or gas explosion.
Okay, so we're going towards that way, but let's see if we can't make a change really fast. Hopefully it doesn't freeze. So everything else is off. Let's put everything to low. There we go. Let's do confirm there, apply. We'll still keep it unbalanced. Oh, did it freeze? Nope. Weird. It doesn't like this part. It doesn't like me making changes. Even when we're on the... What if we use the mouse? I wonder if that would make a difference to it. Something about that. Okay, something about the controller in that it doesn't like. Yeah, we're not really getting much better. And to really turn any more FSR down, I think it would really start to look funky. This is the underrig part. And you can see we're getting like 49. What game is this? This one's called Still Wakes the Deep. It just came out. It's I think it's normally $39.99. I think they had it on sale for like 31 or 35. Something like that. It came out this week a lot as well. And it's definitely like a horror game. It gets pretty tense once you get like into the rig underneath. Not like where we're at, like outside. This is the... Welcome, yo. This is the Steam Deck Oled. Like, you could lock it to probably 30 and be fine for this type of game. So once we get into this next area, let's jump over to the Legion Go. And see, it's just a little ways around here. Yeah, that's kind of like the drill rig, I think, right there. Yeah, it's not running too bad. You know, it's one of those things where for a brand new game on the Steam Deck, like if you were to lock this to 30 frames per second, and then you could turn the FSR to probably quality and maybe even up some of the settings, I think it could even look better, right, in that sense. A lot of people just want to see, you know, oh, can it get to 60 frames per second, or how close can it get to 60? It's not going to do that locked, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be there 100%. But it'll get you closer. Like, we're seeing points where it's like, you know, 50s. But most likely 30 frames per second or 40, if you wanted to even do that, would be the probably better play for it. But yeah, and especially on the Steam Deck OLED screen, like any of the games we look at, they always look way better on the actual device than they do direct capture. See if we can catch it. Oof. And a lot of it looks scripted, but it's not. It's like you could fall like that. Like if I didn't hit the LT button fast enough. Like he's gonna die. There's definitely areas. So let's just jump over to the Legion Go now. Let me close this out. And that way we can see performance at like 1080p. I hope it's doing an auto save like right there. That would be nice just to do some continuation from where we're at. Okay. So this is now going to be the Legion Go, which had to be reset after Avatar. That one was beating it up a little bit. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. 30 frames per second is enough to enjoy certain types of games, for sure. I think Still Wakes the Deep would be just fine at 30. Oh, Reek, you broke yours? You can replace it yourself. It's not a hard thing to replace. I had to replace one already. It doesn't take much. I ordered it from iFixit.com, I think is where I got mine. It was like $20. And I mean, it takes all of 10, 15 minutes to replace it. Oh yeah, you can replace it all on your own. Valve built the machine to be repaired fairly easily. Like the screen is actually not even as difficult as I would have expected it. Yeah, that's right. It's fairly simple in the sense of like the design. It's very modular, right? Like the analog sticks are like a module. You just pluck it out, pop the new one in. Yeah, they do have tutorials. That's right. Let's see. We're just going to jump straight in. We're going to change any settings here. This is just like dialogue, speech, any accessibility options that you need. And I'm wondering if that means that they're not supporting Steam saves. That's what it looks like. Doesn't look like it. I hate that when they don't do that. Okay, let's turn off motion blur. Well, we'll get to see the beginning of the game. Let's kick FSR 3 on. We'll leave it on balanced. We're going to leave it at 1080p. We're going to have frame generation on. We will go ahead and do vertical sync, and let's just knock this down to low. Oh, that's right. This one, lighting is either epic or high for whatever reason. Yeah, let's put everything to low. We can always adjust. There we go. All right. Let's see what we get here now. I'm just going to go story. And we'll just show that. We'll just make it easy because we're not going to spend a lot of time playing the game. We're just going to take a look at how the performance is. So, again, let everything pretty much quality settings to low. We've got FSR 3 on with frame generation. And it's on balanced, and we are at 1080p. So we're going to get a little bit more fidelity. Look at those pictures. That's like your textures, right? Okay. A little bit less fog and stuff like that now. But frame, again, because the frame monitor is not working, the frame rate monitor, look down in the left-hand corner. It's hard to see, except when it's on like a white background, but you can see it's like 59, 60 frames per second, somewhere in there. I will kind of call it out as I go. Now, on a 4090, this area is full of shadows. It's definitely darker in here. There's more reflections, all that stuff. So we're missing a lot of detail. With their Game Boy camera. Yeah, that's exactly what that was. That's what it looked like. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember like the original cell phone cameras. The ones that clipped onto the bottom of an Ericsson phone. But they were, I don't even know the resolution. It was like 144 by, or no, what was it? 280 by 150 or something like that. I forget what the resolution was. Crazy. Franco, no, this is the Legion Go. We just did the Steam Deck. We were able to get it to around, we were on the Steam Deck Oled, and if you just back up the video, you'll see it. But we were able to get it to probably around like 40s, 50s with low settings and FSR on, was it on, FSR 3 was on performance, I think, with frame generation. Now, I think we were talking about it, probably would have been better to have it at like 30 frames per second and kind of target that. We got to talk to Roy here real fast, but we'll skip through it. Oh, you've never had a portable console? Yeah, Steam Deck is great. All in all, I mean, it can play games like this at 30 frames per second. This game just came out this week, so. Yeah, that was with frame generation, Franco. Yeah. No, your English is fine. No. Yeah, but that's, not every game runs. We were talking about this briefly. Not every game runs at 60, right? Not every game's ever going to get close to 60 for these devices. But with the tricks that they're doing with like frame generation and FSR, you can get pretty close, and you can definitely get a good experience at 30. I'm the same as you, Franco. I've got lots of games. I enjoy Steam a lot, so I kind of made the decision to kind of just go with Steam Deck on that, for sure. But yeah, this is kind of the rig from the opposite side. Like if we look up at that building at the top, that's where we just were when we were playing the Steam Deck part. But right now we're getting 60 frames per second. Again, it's hard to see in the left-hand corner, but if you look in the lower left-hand corner on something like red or blue or white, you can see it's running about 59, 60 frames per second at 1080p. Now, let's go in real fast and just make some adjustments. And like I said, if we were to go in and say, let's bounce everything up to high. Let's see if we can get it up there. So high, high, high. Let's see, one more high and then high. Oh, epic. There we go. Now let's kind of put oh, thank you for subscribing, Franco. Welcome. Let's go with, do we have our, can't we like lock the frame rate? Maybe we can't. Maybe it's all the way at the top. No, it's not. Okay, what about on the device itself? So let's save this. Let's back out and resume. Okay, what I'm trying to get us at on high is to kind of lock us into 30 frames per second. Let's just see what that looks like. So we are, well, the device is limiting itself to 30. It's not registering that, so maybe there's something wrong with the Legion Go's software, which wouldn't surprise me. Legion Go has plenty of software issues. Oh, we got to talk to this dude before we go forward, I think. But yeah, like, consider this, though. This probably would be what you could do with the Steam Deck if you wanted to play it at 30 frames per second. You could have it on high settings, balanced FSR and frame generation. And this is the kind of quality you would get out of it on. And trust me, like I said, on the device's screen itself, because of the pixel density and everything, it's going to look a little bit better than this. What you're seeing is, what you were seeing when we were showing the Steam Deck was a 1280 by 800 resolution, where it was, trying to fill out for direct capture, which you see a little bit more of the spacing and stuff like that. It looks a little bit different. It's definitely good for mobile. Yeah, I agree. Yep. We'll skip past these guys. So, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see where we're at. This is, we're still, like, if it's to be believed, and Steam's FPS counter wouldn't not count it correctly, we're getting 40 to 50 frames per second on these settings, which is pretty good. Like I said, a 4090, you can take it all the way up to Epic. You don't have to have FSR on and all that stuff. And it looks impressive, just like this. I mean, this is a little bit more shadows, a little bit more reflections. Yeah, exactly. 720 looks really crisp on the actual smaller screen. We'll just kind of run back over to this area. But yeah, I mean, I think playing at 30 frames per second is definitely playable for this.
Jesus, Scooby. Give me a heart attack.
And this is, you know, like I said, representative. Like you're outside here. All the rest of the game is pretty much in like enclosed areas. So you do get a little bit of an FPS bump when you're inside the rig, as you would guess. I don't know if you can just skip past this. I think you have to do that. Yep, you gotta do that. Okay. Let's jump over to our next game, since we've still got 4 to cover, something like that. So I'm gonna jump out of here. Still Wakes the Deep far better than Avatar, by the way, in terms of performance, right? Like, much better game. I was surprised. The voting, the reason why these two were in the same vote, and because Avatar only ran on one of the devices, that's why I chose to do Still Wakes the Deep as well. So, Factorio, I could probably do a video on it. I couldn't play it now because I'd have to download it, and I'm on Starlink, and it's a little bit slower than people expect. But I can definitely do a video during the week, for sure. Let's jump. Well, we're back over on the Steam Deck. Let's jump into. So we've done Back for Blood, Avatar, Still Wakes the Deep. Let's jump into Returnal. Still got a cough. Returnal says that it's not compatible with the Steam Deck. It plays. It's just not great. The performance isn't really good. That's exactly it. That's what we were saying. There's no optimization in Ubisoft's path. It's unfortunate too. I don't know, man. They used to be. I mean, people can argue they're a good company. I wouldn't sit there and complain about it, but I mean, like, I worked with those guys years ago, fairly closely, on a game, some stuff in a game, like advertisements, the thing that I was doing. And I put a phone inside of one of their games, Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. And that team that I worked with, I still remember them. They were great. They were great people. And the company was really good at that time. And this was Xbox. So this was like Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube days, right? And I really enjoyed working with them. And they did like everything. They were really like cutting edge kind of thing. They were getting stuff done. And then things started to turn for Ubisoft, like around the Xbox One, like PS4, where, I don't know, they make some weird decisions. And their leadership or management is just, something's off with them. So I just continue to run where I was at. This is on the Steam Deck OLED. In terms of settings, like everything's set to low. I can tell you that right now. Like I have everything. Oops. Fade aware. Hold on. We got to reset. Not good. Okay, let's try relaunching the game. Returnal has crashed. Yes. Okay. Go back in. The game will run, but again, it's not going to run well. Maybe 30 frames in this case is really the best you can hope for. And for this type of game, 30 frames is not good, right? It really isn't going to cut it. That's the problem with Returnal on here. Like if you were to play Returnal, I mean, you can see why they were like, Housemarque was like, well, it has to be on the PS5. And realistically, it's got to have some serious power behind it to really get it to run well at 60, you know, without having to like really cut all the graphics. I would probably say the bare minimum on this game would be like a 2060. And we're trying to do this with a Steam Deck. It's not going to run as well as it could on another machine. And it's not going to look, even on the screen of the device, This game, because you have to turn up FSR and everything else so much, does not look great. It does not look like anything near, and not that it should, but I mean, like, there's a big difference between this game and like what you can see on the PS5. Oh, it keeps crashing when I go into settings. I don't know what this is. This is first of this. Is it just crashing and we're just not seeing? Nope, it is. I don't know why it's crashing there. It might be because we're trying to resume a run. Let me try this again. We're going to do this. We're going to die. We'll let it like pick up a new run and we'll see what it does there. The Ubi devs are pretty chill. Generally, people who actually make the games are fun to work with. Only upper management. Yeah, no. I mean, definitely, like, devs normally are not the problem. Your problem with any game development is going to be your producer or your management. Maybe the game designer, but normally they're pretty good, and it's usually the management getting in the way. That would be from my experience. Producers are in charge of everything. If there's anybody to catch hell on any game, it should be the producer. But sometimes they can't even fight management on some things. Look at my perfect example would be like Cyberpunk. That was a pure management decision to put that game out in the state that it was in. And there was nobody going to fight. You'd just lose your job. Right? Okay, let's die right now. Let's just kill our character. We'll start a new run. We'll see if we can't get into the settings. Wait, what? Okay, how about this? Let's quit the run. Oh, we can't. We can only exit. Okay, let's go through the door and try to die that way. I thought if you jumped off the edge, you could die. Okay, I haven't played the game in a while. So you can see, yeah, we're like 30, 40s. Okay, here we go. Lava will kill us. Maybe. It's taking a bit. Come on. Wipe us out. There we go. Okay, new run. Hopefully that wasn't a 5-hour run that I had from a long time ago. Well, the Steam Deck Oled does. Steam Deck Oled does support HDR native. There we go. Now, don't be fooled by the 55, 56, 54 frames per second. Let us get out of the ship. And then we'll check the settings and see if we're not in a better position. Okay, there we go. It's going to crash again. I don't know why we can't look at settings. Weird. I'm guessing it's something with the let me do it this way. I'm guessing it's something to do with the dock. I've never had an issue toying around with the settings. Give me one. Oops, wrong one. Give me 1 second here while we take a look at this. Now we're on the Legion Go. I'm just going to try getting into the Steam Deck directly to see if we can look at the settings. I've never had an issue looking at them. And the only thing I can think of is I've never, to my knowledge, checked them while they were on the Steam Dock. I've had this before where the Steam Deck dock has caused problems with the game crashing. So let's just see if it's the case. And then we'll, if that's the case, then we'll leave the Steam Deck alone. We'll jump over to the Legion Go and we'll take a look at the game on there. I'm hard pressed to say that while I know that it's playable, on the Steam Deck, I'm hard pressed to say like it's okay to pick up on the Steam Deck for people, right? It's not going to be an optimal experience. If you don't have another PC or another device to play it on, I don't know if you'll have a good time playing it. Because you really need 60 frames per second with this type of shooter. Just reaction times. There's just areas in the game where you get into it and it's like just pummeling you. Bullet hell style. The reason why I can say that is I originally played it on the PS5 when it came out. So I was all about it. I love the game on there. But you can definitely tell the difference. It's not even registering my controls. On here. Yeah, it's having all sorts of issues right now. I don't know what's going on. Might even be that we have to restart the Steam Deck. Okay, let's just move on to the Legion Go. Not a good experience here. I'm going to restart the Steam Deck as well. Something's going on. Possibly sharing the compiled shaders, different hardware config. Yeah, it could be, but I really think that it has to do with that Steam Deck dock. I think it's given us a problem. I think it caused some, because the controls wouldn't even work there. And when we took it off of that, we disconnected like the Steam Deck control through the US, or the 8-bit DO controller through the USB on the Steam Deck. And I think that was kind of what's going on. But let's jump in and check it out on the Legion Go. So that's what we're on right now. PC, Windows machine, you know, you're not going to have the same issues as you do with Linux devices. But again, you don't have a lot of problems with the Linux machine. With SteamOS itself, I don't have too many issues with it. I think it works great. Okay, it's restarted over here, but we can't play it while we're playing this one if it's online. So I'm just going to go in and turn off Wi-Fi and see if we can't start this sucker up. There we go. Okay, but on the Legion Go, there is a little bit more power. Again, you're probably not going to get 60 frames per second. We might be able to get it if we drop everything down, but I'm not even positive on that. I haven't played it too much on here. I've played it mainly on the Steam Deck. So let's go in. Let's turn this down. Let's get rid of full screen. We'll just do it windowed. And we'll take this all the way down to 720. It's going to look weird, but if I change it to full screen 720, it's going to screw the capture card up. So let's throw everything to low. And we've got FSR 2.0 on. We've got an ultra performance. We've got everything to low. Ray tracing is off. Yeah. HDR isn't even available on this device. We can run the benchmark. Let's do that. Oh, and you know, one thing we should be doing is turning off the frame rate limiter. There we go. So this will show us what we can get on the Legion Go, which might get close to 60, but I don't think it's going to hold it. Yeah, 40. You really can't see it. It's down in the left-hand corner. I guess it's showing you on their performance indicator, but it's like 48, 50, something like that. Yeah. So this is the Steam Deck. Now we can get into after resetting everything, restarting the machine, we can get into the actual menu system of the game. It's the Deck's dock that caused that issue that time. I mean, it's trying its best. There's no doubt about it. We're using pretty much the max to the GPU. Now, it's saying very limited CPU. It doesn't understand that it's an integrated device. That's all. But it's basically using 100%. 90-ish percent. 98% of the total power that the machine can put out. The VRAM usage, though, it's not too bad of what it could be, but it's just, it takes too much to run this thing at 60 all the time. Especially when it's, in all reality, like FSR is making those bullets look like crap, right? It's just the frayed edges and all that stuff. It's not ideal. Returnal's a tough game to run, to play and to run. Let's see. So, yeah, it was capping everything out. It's kicking out some heat too. I mean, the fan is running really fast. I would suggest to say at these settings, we're lucky if we're going to get 50 frames per second in the game, but we'll give it a try. There we go. So right now we're at 56, 60. Now we're down to 43. Let's just spin it around a little bit. 42, 50. Yeah, it's going to depend on what area we're in. But again, anything that's below 60 for this game is really going to make it tough to play. It should be kind of the requirement for this game. Oh. Well, we are getting 60 when we're in like a firefight there. Still 70s, 60s. That's not bad. We're not at we're not in a very large area though, and we're not anywhere near like one of the bosses that are just, if you've played the game and you get to any of the bosses, you know what I'm talking about. It's like it is like truly a bullet hell. There's so much on the screen at one time. It's kind of nutso. Oh. Jump straight down. Get up here. Scanning. Yeah, I mean, again, oh, jeez, I fell. It's not horrible in terms of like the, why can't I not jump up here? Here we go. In terms of the performance, it's not bad, but I don't think it would hold up in the areas where you'd really need it. What is this? Oh, okay, here's a bigger enemy. Wow, that was pretty quick. That was a shame. We could have actually seen the performance. Oh, wait, sorry, I missed your message. I only know that people on the ROG Ally have a similar problem, but yeah, if the dock is showing signs of impending doom, it could also be because the goat tortoise white horn, yeah. It comes across as like lettering of words. Okay, this area has a little bit more enemies, so let's, yeah, you can see like right now it's in the 30s, where it was in the nice like 60 range for certain areas. Oh, oh. Take a look further over here. And I am on the, I guess, latest everything. Latest graphic drivers, latest BIOS on this device, so nothing really we can do on that either. Okay, I mean, there's 50s. I think it's just going to depend on, like, where you're at in the game. Ooh. Something on me. I'll just run a little bit further in. Let's try it. Oop, oop, I jumped off. Meant to stop and like jump into that ball. There we go. Go to like a different area up here. Oh, yeah, there it got pretty rough when it was transitioning with enemies. Yeah. I just don't think it'd be a good experience, right, for most people. I think most people would be looking for kind of that experience that you're going to get on the PS5, where it's going to be pretty much locked 60. So let's do. Before we jump to Resident Evil 2, let's jump in and check out Metal Slug, which I thought this was a great game. Some people may not like Metal Slug. Oh, we don't have it plugged in. Hang tight. I got to get out of this screen as well. We're on the... Now we're moving back over the Steam Deck. I did have the settings and all that stuff up on the Returnal side, but let's hope it'll catch up. There we go. Well, I guess while we're in here, why don't we just take one look at the settings? If it will work with me. It's kind of not. Yeah, it's not there it is. It's only recognizing the inputs from the Steam Deck itself. So this is what the Steam Deck was set at. Was 1280 by 800. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. 1280 by 800. Which we could move down slightly. I think there's... If we went to windowed, is there any other option? No, we can't go below 720. Graphics wise, oops, let's apply those. Yeah, the dock is causing the issue. Okay, let's just get out of here. Not good. We've already wasted enough time on it. Okay, there we go. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. Much easier game to run for everybody. This is kind of like a, what would you call it? Like a tower defense, but like I said, it's more like a reverse tower defense to me. It's like you're defending and also doing the attacking. So it's a strategy game in that way, but it's kind of like I don't know, an interesting like reverse or bi-directional tower defense game. I don't know. It's a weird thing to say. If this game was ever available before, I never played it. Because it's reloaded. So I take it it's a kind of like an updated version on the series, but I've never heard of the game. I don't know a ton of like SNK. I know a lot of SNK games. I don't know like every one of them that they ever made. So the only options you get are full screen. That's it. Let's jump in. Let's see. Game start. So as you open it up, like I said, you get different areas to work. You can build up your defenses, your machines, your people, pretty much it looks like regular Metal Slug. In a weird way, it looks very similar. So let's go. Oh, there's lots of areas. Where was I? Vietnam. And let's just kind of jump down to the next one in line. There we go. So you get to choose like what your deck looks like, what you can start out with. You can upgrade, add more, customize. We're at the beginning of the game, so it's not going to take a lot. I'm going to see if we can skip past. I think we can if we press that. Yep. But funny enough, do I have... I might have the Steam Deck locked. Hold on. That might be why we're only seeing 30 frames per second. Possibly. There we go. Nope, we have it 60. So this game must be locked at 30. I don't think it needs to be anything more than that, but interesting that they lock the game to 30 frames per second for this game. So essentially you just send out your squad, right? You're like, hey, I've got enough points. Then you can upgrade your carrier of the points so that you start generating the points faster. But essentially you just got to throw enemy after enemy, fighter after fighter. They have a special attack. They can throw bombs. And then eventually you can get higher level characters coming out. But we're not doing really well right now. We're kind of stuck. As you can imagine, this game's going to run just fine on the Legion Go. I don't even know if we have to show it on the Legion Go. It's not going to be any different. I mean, it's locked at 30. There's nothing more that we can really show. So we can probably just jump right into Resident Evil 2. Let's see if we can't win just this one area. I keep sending out the same guys. I want to get... Okay, have her upgrade so your AP goes faster. I must have queued up a bunch of them. Oh, we're getting close. There we go. Now we're starting to see new characters come through. Stronger. And you can just wipe it out. It's a cute game. I thought it was interesting. It's very much like Metal Slug in a way, but totally different. In, you know, you're utilizing decks with resources and, you know, kind of just playing the game out. But they just launched this one this week as well. And like I said, I don't think there's any reason. I mean, we could show it, but we can just bypass it. And we can spend the time to look at Resident Evil 2. Because I do have to cut off sooner than later tonight. Well, definitely we're going our 2 hours like we normally do, but I won't be able to go like 3 or so. Because I've got to get on a flight in the morning. So let's skip through this. We'll take one more look at a match. Oh, so this must be an enemy, like a boss. Okay.
Mission start.
There we go. It's nice that it's like all one screen that it pretty much happens on.
Okay.
I'm just gonna build up my AP girl here. Throw some grenades. We'll try to stop some of these dudes from coming too close. Try to get them before they get us. Yeah, we're just throwing as much as we can at them. I must have it on auto. I don't remember. Oh, there, screen scroll, semi-auto, attack for units, range. Semi-auto. It kind of seems like it's doing it on its own.
Mission
like I'm upgrading the character and I'm sending out certain things and doing, oh, I got an S rank. But it must be like an auto mode or something like that where it's just like it'll generate units. Oh, new game mode option. Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff in it. I mean, they've got Metal Slug Tactics coming as well, which they announced during the Nintendo Direct video show that went on just this past week. So lots of stuff happening with the Metal Slug series, which is nice. But like I said, we don't need to spend a lot of time on it. Runs just fine. It was just one that folks voted on, so I thought we'd show it here. Let's go ahead, and it's just interesting that they have it locked to 30. I imagine that they would adjust that down the road. There's no real reason for it to be locked at 30. Let's jump into our final game that was voted on, which is Resident Evil 2. Now, Resident Evil 2 has been optimized very well. And this game runs pretty much locked on 60 and 90, depending upon, which device you're using. It is a little bit older, though. What was this, 2019 is when Resident Evil 2 came out? Might have been. So it's had some time, and obviously Capcom has taken the Steam Deck serious because they've gotten a majority of their games running on even the iPhone now. So like Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 7, the benefits all rolled over to the Steam Deck from that point. They did all their optimization adjustments. So there's really not much you can complain about in this game. Settings wise or options, so this is still the Steam Deck. We do have HDR off, but again, that's not really any impact specifically for the performance of the device. It's just because I'm not going to produce HDR live stream. Ray tracing is turned off. We're at 720. We've got ultra quality FSR on. And we can back this down to 60. It's on 120 because this is a 90 FPS or 90 hertz screen, but we can't show it anyhow on here. So it's only going to come across as 60 anyhow. Let's see what else we've got. So if we go back in, let's just do preset. Now we are in recommended. Let's do balanced. And let's see. Well, actually, you know what? We can probably go up to graphics priority. A little too much. How about, no, I guess we're going to go with balanced. Let's go with balanced. That should give us pretty good result. So let's go ahead and back out. And let's just jump into, let's load up, let me think of something where, lots of saves. Sewer monitor room, laboratory. I think this is the second run I did, if I'm not mistaken. Passages. Let's do something that's outside. Destroy the plant. That's more towards the end, I think, right? Find the plugs. Save Ada. Find Ada. Okay, let's try finding Ada. I don't know. That's somewhere in the sewers. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see on the Steam Deck, running with the, the settings that we have, which is balanced. Pretty good result. 60 frames per second. Leon looking top.
That's a pleasant.
We've got a rocket launcher too. I don't even remember when I got that. So this must be the second run. Okay, I think we're missing something there. I really don't remember where we're at. I know we're in the sewer, but I don't remember what I've done. Or if there's any enemies left. Sounds like there's one. I don't know how far, because I've got like some big weapons with me right now. Okay, let's go up this way. There we go. That's a nice jump scare. Let's just go a little bit overpowered. But yeah, I mean, we could probably bounce this up if we want to. Let's just try it. I think if we go up to... Oh, can we not make changes while we're in here? See, we're on ultra quality. We could even turn that off. Let's just see what happens if we turn FSR off. Yeah, we're still at 60. We don't even have to run FSR.
Shit.
It does drop it down a little bit, but not too much. Now, it is a quite dark area where we are enclosed, but the whole game's like this, so this is probably the performance you're looking at through most of the game. And if you had to, you could drop anything down. I mean, you're going to be able to log it in at 60. No problems. I think we're back in the same area. Are we? Yeah. I was kind of hoping there was some bigger enemies. I think I might have cleared out this area as much as I could without moving forward. Oh, I was wrong. I was very wrong. Come on, Leon. Get out of it. Okay, back up, Leon. Gotta get a little distance. There we go. Okay. Never even moved it. So let's jump over to the Legion Go. I mean, you can see Resident Evil 2 runs just fine on the Steam Deck. Now, this one will go on sale next week for sure, if it's not already on sale. The link that I have below to the Humble partnership that we have is to the game that's on sale over there for their summer sale. I think Resident Evil 2 is like $8.99. So if you're looking to pick that one up, I mean, it's going to be cheap for the next like 2 or 3 weeks. And again, runs just fine on these devices. Like most of the Resident Evil games. I think every Resident Evil game runs just fine. I know that Zero's a little weird. I don't even know if they fixed it, but maybe we have to go back and look at Zero here in the next couple shows. Because Resident Evil 0 did run just fine. It's just there's one area where it gets stuck, to my memory, that I can remember. So let's we'll make some adjustments. We'll get this to full screen. But again, the ROG Ally, or the Legion Go and the ROG Ally have even more, the Z1 Extreme at least, chipsets have even more power than the Steam Deck by nature. So, you know, nature of the chipset. So, I mean, it should run just fine. We might be able to even turn ray tracing on. I'm not sure. Let's just see what we can do with it. So let's go in. We're going to run it at 1080p. We will try ray tracing on. I don't know if it's going to run it. But let's do that, and let's put, what's our preset at? Are we on recommended? We're probably on recommended. Yeah. So let's try 8+ gigs of memory. So that's going to give you 5. What about ray tracing? Let's just try. Okay, so that's there, but let's try graphics priority. Oh, ray tracing gets turned off when you do that. Interesting. Let's try graphics priority first, and then we'll maybe try ray tracing. We should just be able to turn it on. Yeah. Let's just try it with it on. We're just using their presets. So this is probably mostly more than you can get on the Steam Deck. It's definitely above its memory capacity or its RAM capacity. And let's choose the same area. So that was the sewers. Find Ada, right? Find Ada. That's this one. Let's just see what we can end up with. Well, we're definitely in the 30s, like 20s, right? It's definitely lower because we're asking it to do ray tracing. Probably not what we want to do. It can't do that. So let's jump in here. Let's kill ray tracing. Oh, it's not going to let me turn it off? You gotta be kidding me. So we got to back out and then come back in. How silly. Let's come back out. We'll turn it off from the main menu. All right. Let's try this one more time. I was a little aggressive with that ray tracing bit. Okay, let's just turn that off. And let's see what we can do with the rest of it. Story, load, and find data. There we go. There we go. Nice locked 60 with max graphics without ray tracing. Wow, that's a wall of sewage. Let's not go that way.
That's a pleasant smell.
Yeah, now this is one where the Legion, I mean, this is where that Z1 Extreme kind of really comes in, plus the extra RAM. I think, what, is it 9? Is that truly what it allocates? Or is it 8? I forget. This way. I think we've got one zombie that'll jump out at us, and then we'll have that big thing that we can fight. Go. But yeah, I mean, it's down in the lower left corner, but you can definitely see it's like locked 60. Okay, don't bite. Oh, he bit. Let's take him with the... I missed him completely, but it caught him on the ricochet. And then let's swap weapons. Let's go to the... Right. Even more. Well, that does drop it down by like a frame. That lighting. The smoke effects, I guess. We'll get down here where the mean thing was that was in the middle of the sewer. He was this way, right? Maybe not. Who's down this way? Oh, that's right. We had to fall off the edge here. And then he's like right in the middle. See, there's always this little stutter in the Legion Go. And you can see it dip down. Like now it's in the 40s. It's like with the lighting. it dropped down. So even with its power, putting on max, well, we'll let this thing attack us here, like we did before. There we go. I don't know if I have to fight my way out of this or not. It might just automatically let me go. I just can't remember. Okay, let's back up. Yeah, still 50s, but there was an area back here with the lighting that it went down to. It definitely dropped down to like 48, 50. Something like that. Okay, now we're in a different area. Oh, this is the cable car thing. I might have went backwards. No, I haven't. You don't get this yet. Okay. Still not ready for that. But yeah, that's kind of the game in general. Runs just fine. Like I said, I was just pushing the graphics to the limit just to see. But I mean, if we were to put it on recommended, it would easily, I mean, it might get into the 90s on both devices, maybe 100 and some frames per second. But there's at some point where you're just not really needing it. I don't even know why they gave the Legion Go 144 hertz screen. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but hey, it's in there. Try to take advantage of it when you can. But let's kind of close out the stream. There is one game I wanted to talk about, one last game. This is the one I picked. I guess we could have called the Still Wakes the Deep, kind of the one that I chose because we added that in, even though it didn't win the poll. I just felt bad, like, because of Avatar not really running well at all. I knew it wasn't going to run well. I wasn't too happy with the game not running well, so I was like, we'll just throw something else on here. But I figured let's take a look at, and we can look at it on the Legion Go. Actually, so let me find where that is. Dystopica. Dystopica came out. Oh, I don't have it installed. We'll look at it on the Steam Deck then, because I know it's installed on the Steam Deck. It does have controls for a controller, but I don't know if it's 100% the way that I think they should play. But this is, it's kind of a little city builder. It's a small city builder. It's like a $5-6 game, $6.50, I think is what it is. I found it. I like these types of little city builders, and this is like a cyberpunk city builder. So I kind of thought it was cool, but I figured we'd take a look at this on the way out. Like I said, I've got, I didn't have videos go out on Friday or today because I knew I was going to do the live stream. Oh, that sounds pretty loud. Let me check something really fast. It's like really loud. Sorry about that. Turn it down. There we go. I didn't have game videos go out Friday or today because I knew we were going to do the stream today. The reason is I was trying to build a new template for another channel that I'm doing. It's going to be called Retro Factor, and I'm getting videos prepped for it now since I've got the template built for it. And it's going to show emulation games plus original hardware games all in one video. So combined. Imagine like somebody takes a PlayStation 1 game, shows you what it looks like running on original hardware at the same time it's running on emulation on like the Steam Deck, and kind of like what the differences are. So I built that, spent the last 2 days doing that, and I have it ready to go. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'll probably show next Saturday an example of a video, but I'm trying to have like 10 of those done before I pretty much kind of start promoting the channel. But I'd love for everybody to support it. Whoever wants to see like emulation stuff, games running on original hardware, games running on like emulation stuff. So you'll see the physical games. We'll go through like the manual stuff like that on these videos. We'll take a look at the disc and the case and all that stuff. And then we'll play it on the original hardware at the same time we're playing it on the emulated Steam Deck. So I think it's going to be a little bit different swing at it, right? I do like retro. I've talked about it before. and it ties into all the retro games that I have, shelves and shelves of them, from the business I do of reselling. So I think it'll be interesting. It's going to be called Retro Factor. I've already got the logos and all that stuff done. I've been working on it for probably a year. I'd recorded footage, so I have like hundreds of games recorded. It's just kind of compiling everything now into the channel to make each game, right? Like, I have to capture real view footage of like the console playing the game, as well as, you know, kind of like setting up the Steam Deck and all that to play it and showing it on there, and then record, like, direct capture both machines playing the games with the you know, the graphics prioritized and like all the bells and whistles that you can do in emulation, and then, you know, kind of grabbing all the extra stuff and putting all the text in and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's taking a little bit of time. Like, the template that I finally locked in on took me 4 or 5 hours to create yesterday, over yesterday and today. And then hopefully I can get it down to an hour-ish time frame of making each video. It's tough to say. Certain things take longer than others. This is a lot more edited than the videos that are on Factor of Games. Factor of Games will still be focused on Steam Deck, Legion Go, new PC games, all new games coming out, stuff like that. Retro Factor is going to be a totally separate channel, and it will be like retro games running on original hardware and, like I said, emulation, and showing the difference between the two. And it's going to be a little bit more involved, but I think it'll do well. I think there's some people on here, we have about 11,000 subscribers on Factor of Games, that I think 10% will find it interesting, at least 10%. So 1,000 people. I'd love to get 1,000 people over there to get that thing monetized and to kind of get it up and running, to get like more visibility. So we'll see. But once we have it up and live, it'll be on every video. I'll be promoting it for the next month or two. I'm hoping to launch it by July 4th. Not that that's any specific reasoning, but I'm hoping that those 10 videos will be on there, and then daily videos will be kicked out on that channel as well. We'll see. It's tough to do a daily video on everything, but I'm going to try to do it for at least the first month, right? Like, keep people interested in it, keep more content coming out for it. And these are going to be interesting games. Like, these are not like just random Crash Bandicoot games or something like that, although Crash is great. These are like high-end games that people usually don't see being played, like Blood Will Tell from Sega for the PS2. There'll be a lot of games like that, a lot of like really random games for the PS3, random games for older consoles, stuff like that, like where you'll see the physical manual and the physical cartridge or the disc and all that stuff, and showcasing it that way. So I'm pretty excited about it. But anyhow, this Dystopica is an indie game, just came out, and I like the look of it. Like I said, I like city builders a lot, and you can kind of see, oops, I need to flip my keyboard over. Again, keyboard and mouse, it does work fine with controller on the Steam Deck, but for what we're doing here, playing direct capture, much easier to do it with our mouse and keyboard. Basically, everything's pretty much set to normal. There's nothing advanced, super advanced of it. Let's see. I don't even know if there's rendering scaling. We can lock it to 60 probably if we were to drop this down to about 80%. Right there. Let's see if we can get that to kind of lock to 60. There we go. And essentially you're just building a city, kind of a dystopian cyberpunk world. You can see like the little flying cars kind of moving, like this is Blade Runner style stuff. And it's just something to relax to, right? Like this is one of those games, if you've ever seen them, there's not a lot of pressure in it. Yeah, there's things that you unlock the further you go in, but the game's not really driving you to do a lot. It's just kind of letting you build and take pictures and kind of set things up. But I thought it was an interesting game. I had never seen it. It was the first time I noticed it was this week. It's from a developer that made one of those backrooms games called Pulls, which I kind of thought was interesting. But yeah, indie developer stuff. I unlocked that blimp in the back. That's one of the things that unlocked as I was playing it. But yeah, it's more for like just build it out the way you want. And there's lots of different ways you can drop in cities. It kind of makes the terrain look a little bit different. You know, you get a lot of, no, it's on random ones right now, but you can go up here and I think you can tell it like, hey, I don't want to do random. I want to do like specific Omega or Alpha Corp buildings, right? Much bigger buildings like this. You can zoom in, you kind of get that, you know, the auto focusing, which is kind of neat. But yeah, it's just one of those games that a lot of people don't run into. They're just on Steam. I thought the developer was pretty cool. I put the link in the description below. It's only available through Steam. There's no other place that you can get it right now. So if you were interested in this, it's like $6.50. But they didn't send me a copy or anything like that. I bought it. I was just like, yeah, we'll check it out. We can put another Alpha Corp building here. Let's grab an Omega Corp. I don't know what that one. Oh, it looks like a pyramid. And then when you do something, it unlocks. It'll kind of drag you in. You can kind of see it. I guess it's this hologram. And you can get like achievements for it. And then you can just add them into, you know, new photos. That's really what you're doing those for. Low town buildings. You kind of set those up over here. Jamie Rucker, thank you. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Yeah. No, I think the emulation thing is going to be really interesting. Like I said, it's different. It's kind of done in a way to show like, hey, this is what the physical game looked like. This is like what the manual and everything looked like, and kind of this is what it did look like, but now this is what it can look like, right? Kind of thing, which a lot of people see that on YouTube. There's definitely not, that part's not as unique, but I think in the way it's presented will be a little bit different than what you've seen before. So I hope people enjoy it. And like I said, as soon as I have the at least 10 videos up, people can, I'll start like saying, hey, go over and check them out and, you know, see if we can get subscribers build up over there. But it's always something I've wanted to do. I like kind of breaking things up. I came from the games industry, and I was a publisher for a long time. And I know it's not always as easy to get people to kind of want to see multiple things on the same channel or on the same storefront, especially if they only come for one thing, right? If you only come for like newer games on the Steam Deck, you're not going to be as interested in retro stuff and emulation for like the Legion Go or the Steam Deck or something like that. So this will hopefully break it up. It's not once I have the templates built, it's not a whole hell of a lot of extra time to make sure that I've got games for that. It's just recording footage, which, like I said, I spent probably 3 months last year doing this. Thank you for that super chat again, Jamie. Greatly appreciate the support. But I spent probably 3 months recording this last summer when I was out of work. And I kind of figured, okay, I'll get it ready in the fall or in the, you know, kind of the beginning of the year. Kind of was targeting the fourth quarter of last year. But then I had to take a job because I needed money. And then that kind of delayed it, right? And now that I was unemployed, now I'm back working. Again, I'm kind of jumping around jobs. Not any real reason. One of these days we'll go into why I left it. But I'm still under an NDA and I really can't talk about it. But the job that I do now has nothing to do with the games industry. It's kind of built on my schedule. It's like drywall and, you know, painting and stuff like that. and I get a little bit more time to work, like dedicate a day to doing this. So I dedicated a day to building the template. I'm going to dedicate a day a week, if I can, to kind of getting all those videos done for that channel. So hopefully you'll hear about it soon. I do appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, Dystopica, just a cool little game. Something chill to like kind of play around with. And like I said, you unlock more and more as you play through it. I've got a bunch of these. They're kind of cool to do for like just, I would say, I call it ASMR. It's not really ASMR, but it's just like, if you want to relax and play a game and not have any real pressure to do anything, because there's nothing pressuring you to do anything, these types of games work out really well. And I probably got about 10 of them in my library that are like this. They're like little city builders, little village builders. There's some really cool ones where like you're on an island and you like plop little islands around with houses on them, and it can get really eccentric and really complex, or it can just be like 5 islands and just birds are flying around and stuff, just kind of hanging out. And it's in an artistic design. This one's another kind of artistic one, which is like that cyberpunk world, which is it's just always interesting. But yeah, that's about it. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Thankful that people show up to these streams just to chit chat, take a look at the games. Thank you for voting. If you haven't already, you can subscribe. Click the subscribe button and you'll get notified of when the next vote comes out. It's every Monday through Friday. A vote goes up every day for 4 games. Whatever game wins moves forward. That's the one we show on Saturday. So there's 5 games for Saturday voted on. And then I pick one like Dystopica, right? Just kind of out of the area. Something that launched on Steam, like either the week before, current week, or the next week it'll be launching, and just kind of showcase those games. And then if you want to help the channel, click the like button. Helps other people look for it. And then definitely, if you watch it on the VOD, if you're watching later, leave which game you liked in the comments. I always love to hear that. And I like to know we're picking and showing the right games, right? And like talking about them and giving them as much visibility as we can, you know, that the folks are happy with what they're getting for the show. That's always nice. But appreciate it. Again, Jamie, thank you for the super chat. Those are always appreciated, but nobody ever has to feel like that's something you have to do here. But thank you when you do. And for everybody else, appreciate your time this evening. And that's it. I will see you guys next Saturday, but in the middle of the week, look for the new votes going up and look for the new videos. There's 4. I already recorded 4 videos today, so I could be ready because I'll be out of town, like I said, for a few days, but for work. But there'll be daily videos going up, and hopefully while I'm down there, I'll be able to get some more of those like retro stuff done so we can get that channel up and running. Everybody, have a great Saturday. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.